What am I going to leave as my legacy? To be continued, Steve is going to go ahead and move into cognitive theory, where I'm going to be able to apply William G. Perry's theory, where he engaged in research examining how students interpret and made meaning of the teaching and learning process. So in this stage, there's actually 3 stages. The first one is going to be dualism, and dualism is basically good, bad, wrong, right. At this stage, Steve was really relying on his parents as well as teachers, as well as any authority figure, until he met a dissonance and he understood that he needed to build his own ideologies. He didn't always agree with others around him. So instead of taking things for face value, he went to the power of the internet. He began to really research, do fact checks, and he began to transition into multiplicity, where it begins with cognitive dissonance, basically a teacher and authority figure not having the answer or expressing uncertainty when giving that answer. So Steve learned to think from himself. He became way more independent and an individual, and he was ability to become an analytical thinker went through the roof. Steve is unlike a lot of other students I've met, where he continues to do his own research on many topics. And so with this, Steve is able to move into the multiplicity level of Perry's cognitive theory, where he builds evidence and support to back his ideas up. So compared to where we talked about in my interview, his first year, he would raise his hand, give an opinion, have nothing behind it. Sometimes really just going against somebody else. So that will be a duality phase. Like I said, Steve's in multiplicity phase, where he's raising his hand, he's providing opinions, 3 or 4 at times, to back up how he feels and what he thinks. Steve actually is moving past that multiplicity to relativism, which is the last stage of Perry's cognitive theory. In this stage, infinite initiates ethical development rather than increased cognitive development. So at this stage, compared to just going against the class for no reason, at this stage he's teaching the class and he's bringing these ideas into it. And he's not arguing with anybody. He's just saying, yo, this is what I express, and this is how I feel, and this is what I've learned to be true. This is my little T truth, and I'm still investigating capital T truth. Capital T truth, T truth, please help me. And so with that commitment to relativism, that basically wraps up the cognitive theory.